Shoot, speak, let's go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first summer lunch of the year. Thank you for your attendance. We are kind of with a lot of people on trips on the West Coast, but we're happy to have you here. We hope we'll have a wonderful year, as good as we have last year. As you know, we have a record year of sales. Manufacturers sold more cars than ever in the history of time. So I guess we have a hand for that. Whatever is good for the car industry is good for us. We're going to start basically talking about things about summer. This is kind of an informal meeting. Anybody can speak if you want. We want to talk about where I want to take the association. So far, this is our 9th year starting today. It's hard to believe that it went so fast. But we're very pleased the way it's going. First of all, I would like to give the mic to Treasurer Marcelo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I echo the sentiments that Pepe has said. It's been the best year, 2015, for the automotive manufacturers, and it has a lot to do with you guys. So a round of applause to you guys for all the hard work you do. And we appreciate it. As you said, it's good for all of us, and it's important as we are an automotive media association. If I haven't seen you before today, and Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing the care that you have. I know a lot of folks, as Pepe said, are traveling, but thank you for taking the time for your busy schedule to be part of us. And like Pepe said, it's an open forum for us to talk about ideas. I know he has a lot of things to present, Bill, Paul, a lot of the things that we can talk about. And we had a prior meeting, an executive meeting, a board meeting an hour prior to, and we got a lot of wonderful things accomplished. So it seems to be turned out to be a really good 2016. In terms of Treasury, of course, as you all know, our past presidents, and as we continue to move forward, we want to continue evolving in terms of paying your fees on time and so forth. We're a media association that lives and survives on your dues as well, to do some of the wonderful things we get to do. So if you have your wallet or your checkbook with you and you've not paid your dues, I will be here to receive them. If not, you can go into the website. But you know, we kind of voted this morning that perhaps we give till March 31st to give you 3 months to really become an active member. If you read the bylaws, it states on there that you have to pay your fees to actually be a member. So we need the funds, we're doing things, and we're trying to help and give back to Sama.
April 1st will kick you.
What's that?
April 1st will kick you out.
April 1st, the president says you will be kicked out if your fees are not there. Obviously, I will work before April 1st for the folks that have not reached out. Perhaps you've forgotten or you're busy, but it will be nice to get all the funds. In any membership or in any association that you belong, that you pay the fees. Right now in the Treasury Department, so you guys know, we're about $3,200. Folks have been starting to send their money. It's been great. I think last year for us in Sama, in terms of money, has been the best year. We're practically a non-profit association where the money, nobody's getting paid for their services. None of the board members get paid. Everybody's volunteers, as we're all volunteers, helping to do so many wonderful things. So it'd be really appreciated. Of course, to be a member, once your fees come in, you get the wonderful Sama card that entitles you to many wonderful things. And obviously it gives you that wonderful privilege to be a member of the best association in the U.S., Automotive Association.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Like I said, Treasury is doing good. In terms of membership, the board had a meeting, like I said, this morning, and some of the items discussed was we would like to continue with Sama, not necessarily growing quantity, getting more numbers of members. We're looking for quality. We want quality. And what that means is we want to, as an association, be a professional association where our members are legitimate journalists that are writing about automobiles or somehow involved in the automotive industry. So we're going to be working and improving that aspect of membership with the help of the board and the help of all of you to continue being the professional association that we are. Thank you.
Okay, okay, very good. Want to talk about the new ideas? Bill?
Well, I don't know.
We invite our, you want to eat now and then we discuss this? Okay, let's eat.
Anybody hungry?
Everybody's hungry.
I want to say
Yeah,
something as a new
Oh, yes. Bravo, Lardo.
Thank you, Juana. I am a new member of the board. Thank you guys. Thank you, the member of the board that helped me a lot. Danu, well, you have the wrong email. We have a new email for Danu too because he didn't get the invitation. And well, we have to talk to the board, but when we talk to you, he has a movie, a Cuban movie to share with the membership. So maybe we're gonna send an email to the members to talk about talk more about that in the week during the week. Okay? So if you have any questions, send me an email, talk to me, to the board, to Pepe, in English, in Spanish, no problem. Okay, thank you. It's okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, thank you so much.
Basically, it's a movie that Daniel has access to. This movie has been purchased by Metro Golden Mayor. He will take ownership in the next few days, months, I think, right? On the 14th of April, I think.
April 8th.
April 8th.
April the 8th.
We can preview the movie. It's about the classic cars in Cuba and how they deal to keep these cars rolling. It's about how they manufacture replacement parts in a country where there is no access. It's supposed to be a very interesting movie, very professionally done. And the people who produce it has offered us to preview it in a venue that we can choose for no money, for free. We only have to make the arrangement how to get together and how we can preview it. So we'll let you know if we can do this event in the next few days. I think it's going to be very interesting, and we thank you, Daniel, for the initiative.
It is. I saw the film, but it's very, very interesting. And was filmed by the director from Sweden or some country in Europe.
Excellent.
It's a very good one. And,
Excellent.
It's a very important thing. It's beautiful.
Okay, we'd love to see it. Talking to another item that we just spoke today, about new event that we might be doing this year. This has been proposed in the past by Pepe Forte, our member Pepe Forte, and we think it's a great idea. The same way we have a Topless in Miami contest for convertibles, maybe it would be a good idea to have a Everglades event with 4x4s. Maybe we can do it in October or September with a few rain, and it's a hold now because we move Rise and Smiles to February. And then we have to analyze if the manufacturer will have a problem to allow us to go into the mud with the cars, or maybe we can extend an invitation to the 4x4 clubs so they contest, they compete. We judge, and we judge what is the best. We'll see. We haven't really get to the bottom of the idea, but it's something that we have in mind.
I will say something.
Go ahead.
We can discuss it. I want to throw this out so you can be thinking about it over lunch. Two things. One, in Topless in Miami, we did announce a date before, but in case you wanted to mark it down in your calendars or didn't hear us, June 2nd. Once again, over at the Ritz-Carlton on Key Biscayne. We're adding another category this year to recognize vehicles that have the panoramic sunroofs. Now, not really convertibles, so they will not be eligible for the convertible of the year, but the panoramic, not just your regular ordinary sunroof, but to recognize these other vehicles. This kind of clears up a couple of issues we've had with categories in the past. It's another category to judge, but last year y'all judged 2 categories, and I think that worked out pretty well. So we probably will continue that. If you have any thoughts along that line, we're free. The other thing is that we have discussed having an award in honor of Ron Beasley. It would be the Ron Beasley Excellence in Journalism Award. It would be, we're basically recognizing somebody for the outstanding work.
Who was it you said you were?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, just the president. So, but Pepe is going to, I guess, have a couple of people work with the committee, but I mean, I think if we could be thinking along the lines of what standards that this award should have or meet and how we can go about this. There's a couple ways to look at it, at this, submitting a column, a review, a tape, whatever. An individual thing like that as a story of the year, or to recognize somebody for longer service. But this is something that I know that was near and dear to Ron's heart, because I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but when he did pass in his will, he had no family to leave things to. He's leaving things at the University of Miami to set up a scholarship in the journalism school. So this was a topic that was very near and dear to his heart. And excellence in journalism is something that he was very concerned about. But anyway, be thinking about that as if we're open to ideas on that. And like I say, Pepe is going to be working, and maybe in the next couple of months we'll have something along the lines that we can have an award, maybe recognize it this year, later, or whatever. Thanks.
Mr. Field, you want to rise the smiles?
Sure.
Please, approach the bench.
I've heard that before. I'm quite familiar with that phrase. Hi, everybody. I'm going to start, first of all, with the car show at the Homestead Air Force Base, and I just want to point out a couple of things. As a general rule of thumb, it's not open to the public or to members. Now, there's one modification to that. For example, last year, Daniel, or was it last 2 years that you brought your car?
Last year, I guess.
Yeah, just last year.
Or the year before.
Yeah, if you have something like a vintage car or something very special you want to put on display, I would strongly encourage you, please come down, because it's going to be a pretty spectacular day. But for the general public, if I can use that phrase, really not allowed on the base, because this is an active military base. And what we're going to be doing, in all probability, I sent out a letter yesterday, is that we're going to be meeting at 9 o'clock on Friday the 26th at the parking lot directly across the road from the main gate. And everyone is taken onto the base together. There's an escort. They take us directly out to the apron, out in the runway area, where the cars will be set up around a static display F-16 and kind of all positioned. I'm sure you've all seen the photographs, and it's pretty spectacular. Once you're on the base, you're pretty much stuck there for the whole day. If you have to leave, yeah, you'll be escorted to the front gate, but there won't be any readmission for anybody. They just simply don't have the personnel, the manpower to be taking people on and off the base all day. In similar vein, you're kind of restricted to the area where the cars are on display, because these are live weapon F-15s and F-16s, and they can't have you wandering around. For those of you that do, like Danielle, for example, if you want to bring your car back again, it's going to be a pretty spectacular day, because BMW have already sent down motorcycles, which they're here finally. We've got 2 bikes down here already. We'll be going into the press week. And one of their ultra-hot bikes is going to be raced against an F-16. Not on the same runway, because if the jet got ahead of the bike, the rider would suddenly turn all black and crispy, and they don't want that. So it's going to be a side-by-side comparison on 2 runways, but it should be fantastic to watch. And then in the afternoon, there are going to be departures all day long, which I just learned about yesterday. They're doing night operations. Juan, it's something that you would love. You'd see those things take off at night. So there's a bunch of jets taking off in the afternoon. The show itself is going to be ballpark from like 10 to 3 in the afternoon, maybe stretching to 4 o'clock. And then all of the cars that are on display can be taken over to the Homestead Miami Speedway and parked in the garage area to get ready for the next day. Got a bunch of vehicles coming down to whet your appetite. Got that same bright yellow Ferrari FXX Evo. It's a one-of-a-kind car. There's only one in the country, and it's a $6 million piece of race car. There is a LaFerrari coming along. You and I both want to ride in that thing. One of the new 488s, Porsche Carrera GT. Manny, dear member, is bringing his Corvette race car and a Lamborghini Gallardo Trofeo race car. Is the GT3 Porsche going to make it, Manny?
No, it's gone.
Okay.
So we're gonna have just the Corvette and we can take Corvettes for ride, and the Lambo will be there for.
We're only going to have that. The Penske, Brad Keselowski's championship-winning Dodge is coming back down. We're getting World War II Jeeps again, the only two of their kind in the world. Ferrari F12 coming in. And I got to make a note here. Kimberly with FCA, Lisa's replacement, for lack of a better phrase. Bless her heart. When I asked her if she can send down some vehicles, she said, well, give me your wish list. And I said, okay, Dodge Viper, Dodge Charger, four-door car, the Hellcat engine to take families for rides. How about a Alfa Romeo 4C? Well, she sent this wonderful email the other day confirming all three cars are being sent down from Detroit. So Kimberly, God, I love you. And then she said, I got something else for you. We have got this special Dodge Charger that we outfitted looking like a Star Wars vehicle. Do you want me to bring that down for the kids as a display vehicle? Please. So they've got 4 cars coming down along. She will be there with 3 or 4 other people from Chrysler. Ree Hartwell, our lovely friend with Jaguar. Ree is coming down, and of course the children with cancer have a special place in her heart. So Ree's going to be joining us. I've heard from Alvaro again this morning. I think I put the fear of God into Alvaro. You just don't help. You got to come and get these cars. He phones me now every week. Bill, I'm trying for a Shelby GT350R model, and it still looks promising. So hopefully Ford will have that. Heard from Mazda. They're sending an MX-5 and a Speed 3, I believe, is the car they've got coming. And on and on. So it's going to be wonderful. Now, I'm yakking a lot here, but I got so much news. I reached out this year to go beyond Baptist Children's Hospital in Kendall and talked with Lori, actually, Paul, and said, do you contact the Homestead Hospital? And she hadn't. So I contacted the Homestead Baptist. They're bringing out a bunch of kids in their pediatrics ward. I've been in touch again with Miami Children's the last few days. They say that they probably have 40 children coming in total, which incidentally is about the same numbers from Baptist. Lori said they're going to have 20 from oncology and 20 as outpatients. They're all coming with families. I reached to the Abel Holtz Hospital, one that I hadn't thought about before. And I get so embarrassed that I have this myopic view and I forget there's a lot more hospitals with children. They're excited as the devil. They're going to send a bunch of kids. And then yesterday, I happened to be speaking to, a lot of you might remember that old, like a 1958 Testarossa Ferrari. It was a Homestead thing a couple of years ago, Dan. I remember the old pontoon fender, $25 million car. Spectacular. The guy who takes care of that said, I have this friend, hold on, this Shania Twain calling me. I have this friend who, his 16-year-old son died from cancer. He now has this organization called Cody's Angels. His son's name is Cody. He has a motor coach that he's going to be bringing down to the Speedway. And inside the coach, he said, I'm going to have 5 or 6 seriously ill young people. They're all in the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He said, can you handle it? I said, my God, don't embarrass me. Of course we can. So we're going to have these people down. We're going to have a terrific turnout of youngsters and their families, and it's just going to be great. It'll run on the Saturday, the 27th, hopefully 9 o'clock in the morning until noon, at which time we take our usual lunch break, give away goodie bags about 12:30 or 12:45, and from 1 o'clock to 3:30ish, Wounded Warrior rides in the afternoon, much quicker rides, only for very select cars and pretty highly qualified drivers. I'll ask you to keep